today about Armada Recovery, and I get to hang out with Jarrod Pyle. How are you, Jarrod?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here, and he is the clinical coordinator for Armada Recovery. And go ahead and, for someone who's never heard of you guys before, go ahead and share with us what you guys do.
Yeah, so Armada Recovery is based in Akron, Ohio. We have centers in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. The program here in Akron was founded about 3 years ago. We had some ownership takeover in the last year and a half. Armada is a treatment agency that treats comorbid disease, both mental health and substance use.
Okay.
Our number one goal is to love the patient until they love themselves, right?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, when I founded this program, right, a few years ago, right, my goal was to create a curriculum that not only helped change client lives through evidence-based practice, but create such a culture where it was undeniable that you were loved, right? Because Armada was founded on this ideal that when we get here, when we get to our seat in recovery, right, that the world has pretty much come crashing down around us.
100%.
Yeah.
And you don't feel loved at that point, right?
Yeah, a lot of people struggling with addiction come in beaten, battered, broken, right? They're suffering from post-traumatic stress. They're suffering from not only their substance use disorder, but have a lot of times major depression, anxieties, all sorts of comorbid issues. And our goal has been to promote, right, a strong clinical program in the last few years. Again, while really focusing on showing and demonstrating love to our patients, right? It's really important to me when I founded the culture at Armada that the staff and that anyone involved in the team, essentially permeated like all the barriers, and like they demonstrated such a powerful level of compassion that recovery was almost imminent, right? Like it was. Well,
because that's what's going to break through.
Yeah.
Like I love how you said permeated. Like it's just going to push its way through.
Yeah,
I love that.
Thank
That's
you so
great.
much.
So do you do inpatient therapy, outpatient therapy? If someone is watching this and maybe they have a loved one that is ready to take the step into recovery, what kind of therapy do you offer?
Thank you so much. So we offer what they call a 2.5 level of care, which is partial hospitalization.
Okay.
We offer the full continuum. So our focus is definitely on admission to IOPs and outpatient after successful completion of the PHP programming. Our program was designed a couple years ago to fit that 90 to 120 day range, but we take every case by case, right? So it's important to us that we don't discharge clients without a solid aftercare plan, right? We're starting to see in the community that a lot of our relapses, right, are directly related to the recovery environment that this individual is returning to, and the lapses are even more high risk, right? So, such as overdose, or we've got, there's some new substances around here like xylazine. I don't know if you've heard of that. Like we're trying to educate ourselves on these patients who come in with 120 days clean leave thinking they're returning, right, to like this other substance.
Wow.
It's just tragic. So we offer, we have a lot of connections, to like our inpatient centers that we like to work with, right? We're really looking all the time for like stronger connections, right? We want people to come visit us. We want to share like what it is that we have.
Exactly. Right? So that different organizations can work together to get people the care that they need, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how did you get involved in this specifically? What made you passionate about this work?
So for me, recovery began like 10 years ago, right? And I had a therapist or a counselor who, his name was Doug, right? Who really, really impressioned me, right? He showed and demonstrated such a level of compassion, but also he had a rigid nature to him, right? But he had such compassion where he had said, Jarrod, you have something special, right? There's something about you, and you're going to utilize that gift someday, And in that first year, you don't know what that is, right? I didn't know, right? I was like, I don't know.
Oh, thank you. What is it?
Like I don't know. Well, my disease, right? I don't have any shame in admitting that. My mental health and my substance use, right, disorders, right, which are now in remission. Thank God. Were so powerful and so cunning and so baffling. Where coming from suburbia, right? Like I was still gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't discriminate, you know.
Yeah, and that's what I love about Akron.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know, you've had some really great organizations on here because I follow it. WAOH TV, I follow. AAOH.
WAOH.
Oh my
we got
goodness.
it. You're fine.
So,
yeah, and we have had great organizations that are in the recovery community as well as you guys today.
Yeah.
That it would be just amazing to see more of them working together.
I appreciate that. That's what I love about this, is that it connects us to each other. Just walking in today, got to make a connection with somebody from big brothers and big sisters, right? Like, that's what we want to be founded on. That's the type of culture that we want. And when I started this program, you know, I was determined, right, to create the change that wasn't really created for me. And that takes connection, and it takes love, and it takes compassion. So.
Yeah, I love that. Connection, love, compassion. You want to bring all of that to the table.
Thank you. As
someone is heading into recovery and then hopefully out of recovery and to remission. So you said you had some exciting things coming up.
Yeah, we have some really exciting.
And some exciting changes. Are you going to share that, or are we going to share that on the next interview?
Well, I'm going to leave some of it for the next interview, but
okay.
I do want to share this, right? So it's also really important that the community knows that we currently offer Seeking Safety, right? That is a group designed, a therapeutic group designed for those suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder and specifically traumas, right?
So, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, we have an amazing team. I mean, when I say like an amazing team, Sarah brings such a level of compassion to the program where she offers Seeking Safety to the patients on Wednesdays, and that is about a 2.5 hour long session. And then we also have an amazing clinical director who we work together very closely, who's been so on board with our programming since getting here, since taking a role with us, that she also started offering a recreational therapy group as well.
Okay.
And we've had such a great response to that. Where I decided on Friday, I'm going to start taking some patients out too, right? I'm going to take them out there in the community, go on hikes, go on walks together. We have a walk of kindness that our housing director is going to share with you about.
Okay.
So we're so excited. Yeah.
Great. I love recreational therapy, and I've heard of that before for kids, but I mean, yeah, why wouldn't we be doing that with adults too?
Yeah.
That's an amazing idea. And the Seeking Safety group, if someone's watching this and they're interested in those items, how would they get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, so that's great. I appreciate that question. So we have a referral line specifically now. I can give that information out. It's essentially on armadarecovery.com, right?
Great.
There is a link in a chat where you can feature and get in and have a conversation with someone about what it is that you're looking for. And then on top of that, right, one thing I pride ourselves in is that if I get a call, or Allison gets a call, or Gary and Tara, those are two community partners, right? They work with us, right? They work closely in the community. They take those calls, you know what I mean? Like, we don't just shove them through to the next guy. Like, we take them, they go directly to a woman named Mallory, right? You'll speak with a woman who's very educated and understands like what it takes to get someone into treatment and the barriers that they're going to face on that first initial phone call. And she makes sure they understand Seeking Safety, TBS support groups, clinical, individual care. She is amazing.
All of the options that they might have.
I love it.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so you shared your website. Do you guys have social media that you use?
We do. We are LinkedIn as well, right? We are starting to kind of enhance our Facebook presence right now. I'll be honest, right? That's an area of improvement for us, right? So that's why we're here, you know what I mean? Because we want to
start getting the word out more.
Yeah, we need to find the ways where to connect, you know? If you're interested in looking for us or looking for treatment, or you have a loved one that's suffering, and you just need time and education or to understand what it is that we offer, you can go to our www.armadarecovery.com, and you can look up our Ohio, PA, or New Jersey facilities, and you can be directly connected with Mallory, Gary, or Tara, right? So those are the three people you're looking for.
All right. I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for sharing and connecting and just sharing your vision.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching today. We had a great time, and make sure you stay tuned because there's more great interviews coming up next.